Hey, my name is Sean. Welcome to Echoes in Eternity Bourbon. You ready for Sunday Fun Day?
I know you're wishing you were out here with me.
So, I just want to say, had an absolute blast yesterday, hanging out with a couple of friends and meeting some more people in just the community in general at the Alabama Bourbon Drop yesterday. Got to hang out with a couple of friends, Dan and Bill. And I'm telling you what, you think that sometimes, you do some things to hang out with friends. These guys are absolutely freaking amazing. You know, Dan drives all the way up from Florida to hang out. He had some obligations in Florida. He said, I'm going to still drive up there to hang out for the bourbon drop. Bill flies in. It was up at like 2:30 in the morning the day before. Flies in from Mexico, flies into Atlanta, gets home, kisses his wife goodbye, and comes to hang out with us. And we got to hang out at the Frederick Road location in Opelika. They didn't do it in Auburn this year because of game day stuff. So they had a quarterly drop for September. None of us had a number, but we said, you know what? We looked at the list and said, if we get there early enough, we can get a really nice bottle, maybe two. And so we got there early, had some pours, hung out. More people started showing up a little bit later. But even, I think there was like 51 people after the original 50 numbers. I think only 40 showed up for the original numbers. But we were 1, 2, and 3 in the line. So we were in the low 40s, like 41, 42, 43 for our group. And still, like I said, there was another 48 people after that in the walk up. But no one went home without getting some really nice bottles. So I'll talk about the bottles that I picked up there. Also talk about, a couple of people just love to see good people get good stuff. Kyle, who works, over with Bruzel a lot. He was actually a number 3 winner for the line over there in Opelika. And he got himself a freaking killer bottle. He got himself a birthday bourbon. I was excited for him on that. This is, and I think he was the one that mentioned to me yesterday, this is their first expression at 107 proof. So I was happy to see him get that. Another friend that always hangs out with us, Jackie, he had actually won at a different spot. He ended up with a birthday bourbon. I think he ended up with a Blanton's Gold, because at the bourbon drops, specifically on the quarterlies, I don't know if it's this way with the monthlies. It seems that changes a bit from time to time. You can go back in line. So, they would, hey, I got a number, but I'm also on the walk-up line. So they would get their bourbon and get to their position, the walk-in line, and go through again. I only made one pass. I picked up 2 bottles, but I had a buddy that went through, and he went through 3 different times, and he got 3 killer bottles. And I'll put a picture of that at the end of the video, but a good time there. So looking forward to that as well, to show that, hey, he went through 3 times and he got 3 really good bottles, and I was excited about that. I'll talk about the bottles that I got here right now. Let me pull the first one up. This was actually a Baby Jane. This was on table 2. Table 2 had some different things on there, but this was the one that I, had. There was stuff that was kind of like repeats for me. They had, I think, Elijah Craig's. They had a Larceny B524. They had some Elijah Craig single barrel stuff there. They had some Eagle Rares and stuff like that, which I can find pretty readily. But I hadn't tried the Baby Jane. This is the heirloom corn. I actually popped this last night on a impromptu live last night, which was a lot of fun. Hanging out with Baker Drinks and Matt, we kind of did an impromptu. When I guess Laura had hurt her back and she wasn't feeling up to it. But, we're like, hey, let's just hang out and have some pours. And I hung out for about a couple hours and had a great time. I had to get some sleep because I've been wore out. And I'm not sure how long they went, but we had a great time doing that last night. A lot of fun on there. Just a good time. So I picked this up. I cracked it last night. I'll do a review on it later. But, when we were, and I say we, Bill, Dan and myself were looking at the list, we kind of said, this bottle's in play for us. They had Old Fitz 10s. They had some birthday bourbons. They had some other very nice bottles on table 1. But we said this would be a bottle that we could probably get. And it turned out that we did. And this is the Weller Foolproof. It's a store pick from ABC. ABC does a killer job on their store picks. Whoever's picking for them, and I know that Dan and I talked about this a little bit yesterday, with them being a state, they get access to some killer barrels. And whoever's doing the picks for Alabama tends to do a fantastic job. I'll give them a lot of kudos on that. So I went through, got this, got that, and there were some people there that I was trying to catch up with and talk with. I owed a few pours. I told them a while back, got them some pours. Had a good time doing that. But I said, and then you're going to go back through the line? I'm thinking, there's probably not going to be anything there that I be interested in. Boy, was I wrong. I said, no, I'm going to head on. I've got to help a friend with some stuff today. I got to catch up and do some stuff like that. Man, was I ever wrong on that? Well, I'll share that in a little bit. But look, got two very good pours. I mean, this was $62. I think this was like $50. For under $110. I got two very good pours. Excited about trying them out, reviewing them, but also want to get something into someone's hands. That's the best part about getting bourbon is if you're not sharing your bourbon, are you really truly enjoying your bourbon? We all have different palates. We all have different things that we prefer and like. But man, you want to share your bourbon. So, I say all the time, if you're the only one that drinks your bourbon and says that it's a good bourbon and nobody else ever tastes it, is it really that good? Not that you need validation and everything in your life, but I always like when I find something I really like, I want people to try it. I want people to say, dang, that is neat. I never had that. Or, wow, I'm going to have to look for that. Or, dang, I'm glad I didn't spend the $62 on that bottle. And that's fine too, because we all taste and receive and drink things different ways. So I'm getting back on the Sunday kick. So next Sunday, I'll do a drawing, 2-ounce pour. If you're a Patreon, 2-ounce pour for just anyone that's subscribed to the channel and puts in the comments. Just put, man, that's a tough one. What are you going to put? Just put Sunday Living. Sunday Living, 2 words, Sunday, living, Living. Sunday Living somewhere in the comments. Got to be subscribed. Must like the video. Of course, put that comment with Sunday Living in there. Over 21, continental U.S. Get a 2-ounce pour of the Weller Foolproof Store Pick from the state of Alabama. 2-ounce pour of the Baby Jane over here, which is an heirloom corn. Sunday Living in the comments. So I'm looking forward to that. Looking forward to some football today. Auburn didn't do so hot yesterday. My Dolphins are traveling to Seattle with a backup quarterback, so that could be really fun too. So I might need some good Sunday living myself today. Looking forward to that. Some upcoming things this week. First, I got Chris Gunn on here. I got his Bourbon Barrel Creation shirt on. Chris is a personal friend. Absolutely love him as a human being. Very knowledgeable about things, bourbon and life, retired military. But he does these projects with the bourbon barrels on the side that are just phenomenal. I always put his link in the description of my videos. If you're ever interested in checking out what he does, I mean, he makes bars. He makes nights. He makes like little coffee tables and stuff out of the barrel heads, which are really, really cool. He makes crosses and stuff out of the staves. He makes Glencairn holders. So he does a lot of cool stuff. Plus, I think he started his own YouTube channel just showing his process through it, which is really cool. I love that we're taking something and reusing it again to kind of maybe accentuate what you've already got. I think that's super cool there. So check him out if you haven't had the shot. This upcoming Friday, going to be hanging out with Doc at Old Fashioned Ways Plus Plus. Got to hang out with him and his family at KBF. I just can't thank him enough for adopting me for a couple of days to hang out with him and just go experience some different pours and just to see how him and his family interact. With losing a family member recently, sometimes you get stuck in your own things, in your own headspace sometimes. But to be around great friends at the Kentucky Bourbon Festival, meet some new friends at the festival, but then get to hang out with someone who we'd never physically met, but we just felt like long lost friends getting to hang out and being around him, allowing me to be around his family and see that beautiful dynamic they had. It's fantastic. So I cannot wait for Friday that we get to hang out, talk bourbon, and just talk about KBF and have a good time. And if Matt's having a show after that, I'll probably be on there as well, at least in the comments to talk. I feel like I've been missing a lot of you guys, and you guys have been so supportive for me. Thank you so very, very much for that. I truly, truly appreciate it. You guys lift me up a lot, and it just makes things more bearable when you walk a tough path sometimes, and it makes things even brighter when you're having a great day. So you guys really, really brighten things up for me, so thank you. And then Saturday, get to hang out with Baker Drinks and Matt from Whiskey Wisdom. Gonna be doing an Oktoberfest. I have my lederhosen on. We'll be drinking a lot of beer, so it'll be a little bit different. But we're not gonna be serious about things. We're gonna poke at each other and have some fun. So looking forward to that. Look, it's Sunday. Sunday fun day. Man, I love some Sunday. Watch some football. Gonna head to church, hang out, have a good time, and then go through some things today just to kind of, I tell my wife, I said, it looks like we live in a hoarder's house right now with all the stuff that we have over here. So I'll be going through that as I'm listening to some football and watching some games and stuff like that. So looking forward to that. Look, if you're working today, and a lot of us work on weekends, I hope that your time goes by fast. I hope you're successful in everything you do and you bring great energy to your teams and they bring it right back. A lot of us maybe have Sunday off. And I'm hoping that dial's just turned it down for you a little bit so you can enjoy the moments with your friends, your family, talking about the games, having a good pour, just talking about life, having a nice meal, things like that. I hope that just turns that down just a little bit so you can savor those moments a little bit more. Most importantly, all, cheers and God bless. You all have an amazing day. Thank you.